Hi, and welcome back to Rainy Bonsai. I'm your host, Jamie. Today, I wanted to follow up with you guys about the tool roll giveaway and answer the question that I asked you guys. A few weeks ago, when the giveaway was announced, I asked all of you to tell me something that Bonsai has taught you. And honestly, there were a lot of great answers. For instance, Seth DeWoody 8080 says, I learned that I like trees, which sounds like a cop-out, but I went to this hobby with the desire to simply have a houseplant. I got a ficus bonsai, and I enjoyed watching it grow so much. I now have about 20 trees. Even trees that I used to think were ugly are now growing on me. I find myself learning to identify the trees growing around our town just by their bark. And I can't stop reading every piece of literature I can get my hands on that says the word bonsai on it. If you asked me 2 years ago the first thing about keeping a plant alive, I've had no clue. I mean, Seth, I think you just kind of pegged the beginner experience like on the head there. Because, yeah, once the trees take root in your heart, it kind of just becomes endless learning. And that's one of the things I find just so rewarding about it. Another comment that really stood out to me was by Baglamatsis, who said bonsai taught them letting go of day-to-day stresses, appreciation of the smallest of developments. Yeah, absolutely. Bonsai kind of really forces us to forget about whatever we're dealing with on our day-to-day and appreciate the progress that's being made. It's incremental, and sometimes it doesn't feel like anything's happening until you can actually take a step back and realize that, oh no, you've come so far in this time. But what did bonsai teach me? You know, like a lot of you, I actually had a hard time narrowing the list down to just one thing. So I'm going to give you two. The first one is inner peace. This might be a little bit of an overshare, but part of, I guess, how I shifted to a career in bonsai was I got hurt pretty bad a few years ago and ended up with like some nerve damage and some PTSD and just found myself just utterly destroyed. And during the time I was going through my physical therapy, bonsai just became like the only thing that made each day better. And I stuck with it. So when they ultimately told me I was going to have to change careers and have these weight restrictions, it was actually kind of hard trying to figure out how I was going to pivot, what I would do, and I just couldn't fathom a day that didn't involve getting to go hands-on with trees after that. And I'm so glad that not only did I have the opportunity to find a local teacher who really worked with me, but he was willing to teach me bonsai as a trade. And that was just so great because I can confidently say a couple years later, I'm on the other side of it, and I have never been this peaceful and happy in my life as I have been since discovering bonsai. And I hope some of you get to enjoy that piece as well. The other thing that bonsai has taught me is responsibility. It's one thing to take care of a house plant, right? But the bonsai are on kind of their own timeline, a timeline much more in line with a human's timeline. And something about that, I think, adds a little more psychological weight to the horticulture, to the learning to keep it alive, right? And, um, you know, as much as we hate to admit it, everybody kills trees when they start. I know I certainly did. But the goal is to not do that, right? Because each one hurts. It should hurt. Like this was a living thing that you were responsible for. Um, but we can dissect what went wrong and do better on the next go around, on the next tree, with the next tree. And that's just, I think, so rewarding because yeah, like the trees kind of force you to stop living your life for yourself and to make space for them in your life as well. Like a few years really in the deep end of the pool here, I can tell you that my bonsai are practically my family. I'm out there multiple times a day, laying my eyes and my hands on them. I talk to them when we style. I mutter to them when I'm having a bad day. Like, my people are bonsai people and the trees themselves, and that's a-okay. Um, and, you know, working in bonsai, one of the things is it is very much a trust and responsibility based field. Um, and it can be very hard to initially gain that trust. Um, but you know, thankfully, I have been able to here in my local community and really go hands on with quite a few lovely local private collections. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I know my life would have gone down a completely different path had I not decided to take a beginner class with Harold Sasaki a couple weeks before my injury. Because that just really changed kind of the course of my life. But anyways, enough about me. I'm sure y'all want to know who the winner is. And our winner is the Ultra Mega Chicken, who says, Bonsai has taught me to pay more attention to my surroundings. I find myself trying to identify every tree I can. And honestly, like I feel that on such a deep level. One of the things I really love is that bonsai is kind of just a study of rabbit holes. Like every time you feel like you've learned something, there's just this whole new area to go do a deep dive on and build upon your knowledge base. All the exceptions and the clauses and the rules. You know, I don't think it would be possible to actually know it all at some point, just because there's so much that could be learned, especially the tree ID. I actually ride around with a Trees of North America book in my car so that I can identify whatever trees while I'm out and about. It's one of those things that kind of helps me keep my mind sharp, but also really become more in tune with the native species around me. That's it for today. Thank you guys so much, and congratulations again to the Ultra Mega Chicken. I made a post. Check it out. I need you to reach out to me so that we can coordinate the shipping. I'd love to get you this tool roll. Thank you guys. See you soon.